Hey everyone, you're not going to see my face today because I want you to see what I'm doing more than I want you to see my face. So I've got the camera angled so that you can see what I'm doing here on my stove and my countertop. So what we're making tonight is spicy shrimp pasta, and we're going to use our pasta maker like I promised, and we're going to use the whip and mix, which is another one of my favorite products. And we're going to use one of the Tupperware pans. You may not be able to see it, but it's back here. I'll move it forward. And we're also going to be using some other fun products. So let's get started right away so we can get this done quick for dinner tonight. So we're starting with the pasta maker. I've already got this filled up with water to the 6 serving line. And it may be kind of hard to see, but along these sides here, there's measurements for water. So there's 1 serving, 3 servings, and 5 servings on one side, and then on the other side there's 2 servings, 4 servings, and 6 servings, and that tells you how much water you need. So I've got it filled up to the 6 servings, and then I'm going to put 8 ounces of spaghetti noodles, and I'm actually using angel hair pasta because that's the kind that I like to use, but you can use just regular spaghetti as well. And I'm going to put, I believe this is a little more than 8 ounces, but I'm just going to kind of guess. It's not much more. Okay, so I'm putting about 8 ounces in there. Actually, you know what, I'm just gonna put all of it in there. If there's a little bit too much, that's okay. I can save it. Okay, and then the pasta maker does have a lid, but on this side of the pasta maker, hopefully you can see that, on this side of the pasta maker, there's some vents right here. So when we're done cooking it, we're going to put the lid on it, and it'll allow you to drain the water out right from the pasta maker, so you don't have to pour it into a separate strainer. But you do want to cook it with the lid off. So we're going to cook this for 12 minutes. And then I'm going to test it and make sure it's done. And it should be done because I'm assuming it should be done because it's a little bit smaller pasta where it's angel hair. Actually, I think I'm going to do it 10 minutes just to be safe because it is angel hair. Okay, so we're going to let that cook while we do the rest. I just have this pan out here just so that I have a flat surface here on the stove because I wanted to try to kind of have everything right here together. I'm not going to do the sauce yet, so I'm going to put this aside. I'm actually going to move all of this aside for now. And we're going to start cooking our shrimp so it can be nice and done when we're ready for it. So it calls for 12 ounces of medium shrimp, raw shrimp. I have, these are 10-ounce packages, so I'm going to use 1. Plus a little bit of another one. And I'm using my kitchen shears here. I use them for so many things. If you don't have a pair of kitchen shears, you need to get some. They are so useful. Okay, so I'm putting that in. It's still frozen, but that's okay because we're going to put some other things in and we're going to get it to start cooking. I'm going to go ahead and turn on my burner here. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay, and then we have, I'm going to put 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil. And our Tupperware measuring spoons, they have extra ones. So they have 1/4 teaspoon. Actually, this one doesn't have this one in, but it has 1/8 teaspoon. You can see that there. That has 1/8 teaspoon. And then it has 1/4 and 1/2 and 1, like most measuring sets do, and a tablespoon, but then it also has 1/2 tablespoon. And so since it calls for 1.5, I'm just going to do 3 of these, and I keep my olive oil in my tilt and serve containers. All right, and then 1 tablespoon. I've got to get the garlic out of the fridge. Hold on. You can mince your own garlic if you want to use fresh garlic. I just always use this bottled stuff though. And so we need 1 tablespoon of fresh garlic. And then 2 teaspoons of smoked, well, it says smoked paprika. I just use regular paprika. But if you wanted a little bit more of a smoky flavor, then, oh wow, this is stuck. There we go. Okay, 2 teaspoons of paprika. I am actually videoing this demo and doing it live. So if it looks like I'm showing things to 2 different cameras, that's why. Okay, so 2 teaspoons of paprika and then a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And these salt and pepper shakers we have are great because the lids come off super easy, and then you can get your measuring spoons down in there to measure right out of them so you can use it for cooking, and you don't have to fill them really often because they hold so much. So a 1/2 teaspoon of salt and 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. And then we're going to put in 1/8 of a teaspoon of, which is where my little 1/8 teaspoon comes in handy here. My other one, my red one, must be in the dishwasher. So 1/8 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. And they are in my little, my small spice shakers, which are on sale right now. They don't have these all the time. They're not in the regular catalog. So, and they're actually the very best size for most spices. So get these small spice shakers when you can. Okay, and then we're going to, let me grab a spatula here, or a spoon, so that I can stir it. We're just going to let that cook. I'm going to put the lid on it, and we're going to let it cook while I mix up the sauce. Okay, so I'm going to put the lid on it, and I actually might even move it back to the back burner just so it's out of the way. And I'll just keep stirring it a little bit here and there. Okay. All right, so now we're going to use the whip and mix. And I'm putting my pan there because this burner is now hot. Okay, so this whip and mix is one of my favorite products. I don't even use an electric mixer anymore because this mixes up just about anything I need to mix up. The only thing that obviously I wouldn't be able to do in it is bread. But I'm more of a mix my bread by hand person, so that doesn't really bother me that I can't mix my bread in this. I can mix absolutely everything else in this. So I love this because it has 2 speeds here. I'm just trying to show both. It has 2 speeds. You can see that. And so if you're mixing something thinner, you would have it in gear 1, not speeds, gear, and it mixes things that are thinner perfectly. If you have something thicker, then you put it in gear 2, just like a bike, and it just makes it a little bit easier to be able to stir those things up or mix those things up. Okay, so I'm going to start putting our sauce in the whip and mix. The first thing we're going to put in is mayonnaise. We need a 1/2 cup of mayo. And looks like I'm missing my 1/2 cup. So I'll use 2 1/4 cups. I've got things in the dishwasher obviously tonight. And I need a spoon to get it out of it. Okay, so we have a 1/4 cup. 2 of these will make a 1/2 cup. Okay, and then we're going to put a 1/2 cup of sweet chili sauce. And let's see, I might have to get out my other measuring cups because now I just used my 1/4 of a cup, and so I need to get another one. So let's see. Yep, my 1/2 cup is available there. That's why it's good to have several sets of measuring cups and spoons. Okay, so a 1/2 cup of sweet chili sauce. And I'm just going to check my shrimp here real quick. See how it's doing. It's looking good. It's just kind of cooking slowly, which is what I want. Okay, and then a juice from 1 lime. I've got my cutting board here. This is, I'm going to move this. I've got my cutting board here, which these are also on sale this month. And they're not always available, so grab some now while you can. They're a perfect size, and they come in a set of 3, which is really nice. And then I'm just going to use my Zest and Press, which unfortunately is not in the catalog anymore, but I know that they will bring it back on sale flyers, so be watching for that, because this is a really awesome gadget. If you didn't see what I just did, I put it in upside down, so this side down, and then I just put this on top of it, and it squeezes it right into the recipe. It's so slick. I love these, and I'm so sad that they took them out of the catalog. So it just calls for a juice from 1 lime, so I just cut it in half, and I'm squishing both of those in there. Okay. And then one more thing, 1½ teaspoons of sriracha. And if you didn't know, a tablespoon is 3 teaspoons. And so that would mean that a 1/2 tablespoon would be 1½ teaspoons. So that's what I'm going to do, is fill up my 1/2 tablespoon. I'm just going to do it like that. Okay. I'm going to do my 1/2 tablespoon of sriracha. This is actually my sister's recipe, and she has made it twice for me. I had a couple surgeries this summer, and she made it both times that I had surgery, and so I had to get the recipe from her because it's just the most delicious recipe I've ever had. So this is the first time for me actually making it, because she's always made it for me. And then we went camping with her, and she also made it there too. So yeah, I'm loving this, and I'm excited to have it again for dinner tonight. Okay, I'm just mixing this up. I have it in the first gear, so it's, because it's a thinner batter. I also need to check my noodles here in a second. Okay, we got that all mixed up. You can't really see this way, but my overhead camera that I'm videoing, you can see how great that mixed that up. And then I'm just going to put that in the sink over here, and it's ready to go into that meat as soon as the meat's cooked. Okay, and then let me check the meat again. Just going to stir that. Don't want to forget about my shrimp over here. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how this works. We're going to pretend like a bowl is a sink, okay? But I want to check and make sure that it's done. So I'm going to get my, this is just one of my salad forks, and I'm going to bring it up. It feels good. Feels like it's good. Done. Okay. So what we do with the pasta maker is there's a there's an arrow on the lid. If you can see that, there's an arrow. We want to make sure that that arrow is pointing towards where the vents are, or whoops, it's spilling out. Good thing I had that pan. See where the vents are? So we have that arrow pointing towards that, and then we just hold on to the sides here to drain it, and we can drain it right into our sink. But like I said, today I'm going to use a bowl so that you can see what I'm doing. Hopefully you can see from both angles here. This is a little tricky video and I'm doing a live at the same time. And see that? You just hold on to the sides and it holds all the pasta inside of the pasta maker, and it just drains right out into your sink. And it's all done, and then you can even serve it in this. You can even serve it in the pasta maker, so you can cook it, drain it, and serve it all in one. So it's a great little Tupperware product, and I use it all the time. I love it so much better than cooking it with a pan and having to get out my colander and all that. So just perfect. It cooked it just perfect. Okay, but I don't want to put that into my shrimp until it's completely done. So I'm going to set that aside, and we're going to pull the shrimp forward again. We're going to see how that's doing. I think it's cooking a little bit slower than I want it to because I have it on a small burner. So I'm going to turn this burner back on and see if we can get it to cook a little bit faster. Okay, so these are our Tupperware pans, and I'm not kidding you. They are the best quality pans. I have no scratches on them. They are just, and they're just a good, I love I don't know if you saw the lid, but I love the handles on the lid. See that? I love those handles. And they have, I wish I had all my pans out here to show you, but they have a really nice one that's like a griddle that I love to cook like roll-ups on, and I might do that recipe later this week, so I can show a video of that as well. Anyway, the pans are a little spendy, but if you have a party, or if you get a preferred shopper membership, then you can get them at a discount, and a lot of times they give pans for rewards. If you sell Tupperware and you get certain amounts of sales in a month, sometimes that the pans will be the reward for getting, or you'll get them at a really big discount, like, I don't know, like 80% off, you know, something like that. So anyway, there's ways to get these pans for a lot less, because full price they are pretty spendy, but you can get them for half off if you have a party. If you have a really good party, you could get them for free. So, okay, our shrimp's looking good. Looks really good. Hopefully you can see that. I mean, I know you can't see it from the side, but I'll kind of lift it up and show you. See, there's our shrimp. It's all cooking in that yummy sauce. Okay, and then we're going to put in our noodles. And I did cook, I'm not sure if I cooked a few too many noodles, so I'm just going to kind of eyeball it as I put it in. We're going to see how many we need. If I have too many, I'll just save these noodles right in this container in my fridge, and they'll last for a good week or so, if not longer. And we can just, I have my daughter that's 19, she loves to just eat noodles with butter and Parmesan cheese on it, so they'll definitely get eaten. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to use all of them. Okay. Okay, I probably had a few more servings in that spaghetti container than 6, but they cooked perfectly. 10 minutes. If you had regular noodles, it would probably be 12 minutes. I lowered the time a little bit because they were thinner noodles. Okay, then I'm just going to stir the shrimp right in there with that pasta. Doesn't this look delicious? I wish you could see. You're kind of, let's see. I just dropped a shrimp down in my stove. Okay, so I've kind of got those shrimp mixed in. I'll mix them better once we get the sauce in. And then I'm just gonna pour that yummy sauce in. It's looking really good now, so I'm gonna turn it down a little. Okay, I'm just gonna dump that yummy sauce in it. Okay, for you guys that are on live, I have an overhead camera here taking a video, so that video is going to be a better shot of what I'm doing from the top. So I'm going to actually post that video a little bit later tonight. It takes it a little bit of time to upload and everything, so I don't know how early I'll get it posted, but I will post that so you can see an overhead shot of what I'm doing here, because it's really hard to see inside the pan. Okay, so I'm going to just lift up my iPad here and show you what it looks like. Let's see. There we go. Now you can see it better. Yummy, isn't that? It looks so good. You can also use chicken. My sister, actually, when we went camping, she was a little short on shrimp, so she did shrimp and chicken both. It was super yummy. So very yummy. And look how quick I made that. It is only, I started this at 6:15, 6:20 probably, and it's 6:38 and my dinner is done. So thanks everybody for watching, and I hope that you all will make this recipe. And I posted the recipe earlier today in the party, so hopefully you can watch the recipe or save that and try this for yourself, because I promise you'll love it. It's so yummy. Thanks everyone, have a good night.